Hello, everyone. Today we will learn about the installation and requirements of automatic fire alarm system. The automatic fire alarm system is an important part of the fire protection system. It is an automatic fire protection facility set up in buildings or other places in order to find and report the fire early. Use automatic means to realize early fire detection and automatic fire alarm, and thus take effective control measures to extinguish the fire in time. It is a fire protection system that provides control and instruction for personnel evacuation, fire spread prevention, and automatic fire extinguishing equipment. You can see from this picture that the automatic fire alarm system is composed of trigger device, fire alarm device, linkage control device, and power supply. The laying of fire electric circuit is one of the important links in the construction of automatic fire alarm system. Let's first learn the wiring requirements of the system. The laying of firefighting electric lines requires not only safety and reliability, but also reasonable, beautiful, neat, and firm layout of the lines. The general requirements are: 1. A material inspection. Pipes, trunks, section steel, cable trays, and their accessories entering the construction site shall have material certificates and certificates of conformity, and shall check whether the quality, quantity, and model specifications meet the requirements of the design and relevant standards, and fill in inspection records. Steel pipes require uniform wall thickness, uniform weld seam, no cracks and sand holes, no concave flat phenomenon. Metal trunks and cable trays and their accessories shall be shaped by galvanized products. The inside and outside of the trunking should be smooth and flat, without ribs, and there should be no distortion and warping. 2. Wire inspection. The types and voltage levels of conductors shall be checked and inspected according to the design and construction drawings and the provisions of the relevant current national specifications. 3. When all kinds of pipelines are applied, separate clamps should be used to hoist or support to fix them, and the diameter of the hanger rod should not be less than 6 mm. 4. When all kinds of pipelines are hidden, they should be laid in non-combustible structures, and the thickness of the protective layer should not be less than 30 mm. 5. Where the pipeline passes through the settlement joints, expansion joints, seismic joints, and other deformation joints of the building, compensation measures should be taken, and the two sides of the cable crossing the deformation joints should be fixed, and an appropriate allowance should be left. 6. The pipe mouth and pipe connection of the pipeline laid in dusty or humid places should be sealed. 7. Pipelines are to be provided with junction boxes at convenient junction points when the length of the pipeline exceeds 30 meters and there is no bend. When the length of the pipeline exceeds 20 meters and there is one bend. When the length of the pipeline exceeds 10 meters and there is two bend. When the length of the pipeline exceeds 8 meters and there is 3 bend. 8. The outside of the metal pipeline into the box should be sleeved with a lock nut, and the inside should be equipped with a guard mouth. When laying in the ceiling, the inside and outside of the box should be sleeved with a lock nut. Plastic pipes into the box should take corresponding fixing measures. 9. When laying the groove box, hanging points or fulcrums should be set at the following parts, and the diameter of the hanging rod should not be less than 6 mm. The beginning, terminal, and joint of the groove box. The corner or branch of the groove box. The straight line segment is not more than 3 m. 10. Hanging points or fulcrums should be set at intervals of 1 to 1.5 meters for the straight section of the trunking. At the same time, hanging points or fixed support fulcrums should also be set at the following parts, including the joints where the trunks are connected, 0.2 meters from the junction box or junction box. Within 0.5 m of the two ends of the corner, turning and deformation joints and the three ends of the T-joint, where the direction of the trunking changes or turns, etc. 11. The groove box interface should be straight and tight, and the groove cover should be complete, flat, and free of warping angles. When installed side by side, the slot cover should be easy to open. 12. The wiring in the pipe or the groove box shall be carried out after the construction plastering and the completion of the groundwork, and there shall be no water and sundries in the pipe or the groove box. 13. The system should be wired separately. Except for design requirements, the lines of different circuits, different voltage levels, and AC and DC in the system should not be arranged in the same pipe or in the same slot hole of the slot box. 14. Cables shall not be jointed or kinked in tubes or grooves. The wires shall be reliably connected by welding, crimping, and terminal blocks in the junction box. The connection of the conductor should not increase the resistance value, and the forced conductor should not reduce the original mechanical strength, nor can it reduce the original insulation strength. 15. Wiring from junction boxes, slot boxes, etc. to detector bases, control equipment, and loudspeakers, when protected by bendable metal electrical conduits, is not to be greater than 2 m in length. The bendable metal electric conduit should be put into the box. The outer side of the box should be sleeved with a lock nut, and the inner side should be equipped with a guard mouth. 16. After the system conductor is laid, use a 250V or 500V megometer to measure the insulation resistance of each circuit conductor to the ground. And the insulation resistance value should not be less than 20 megohms, and make a good parameter test record. 17. Deformation joints of buildings. The pipeline passes through the deformation joints, including settlement joints, expansion joints, and seismic joints, of the building. In order to avoid damage to the pipeline due to uneven expansion and contraction settlement of the building, compensation measures should be taken for the pipeline and conductor. One end of the compensator connection pipe is tightened or welded, while the other end does not need to be fixed. Metal hose compensation can be used when open wiring is used. When the conductor crosses the two sides of the deformation joint, it should be fixed with an appropriate allowance. 18. Wire color difference. The transmission line of the automatic fire alarm system should choose insulated wires of different colors. The positive electrode line of the detector should be red, the negative electrode line should be blue or black, and the rest of the wires should be distinguished by other colors according to different purposes. However, the same purpose in the same project wires should be the same color, terminal blocks should be marked. 19. Ceiling wiring. Metal pipes or metal trunks must be used for wiring in the roof of the building. 20. Threading in the tube or in the trough shall be carried out after the completion of the building plastering and groundworks. Before wires and cables go through the pipe, the stagnant water and sundries in the pipe or trunking should be cleaned up. The nozzle should be protected, and the vertical nozzle that does not enter the junction box should be sealed after it has penetrated wires and cables. 21. The total area of insulated conductors or cables through pipes should not exceed 30% of the cross-sectional area in pipes. And the total area of insulated conductors or cables laid in closed trunks should not exceed 40% of the net cross-sectional area of trunks. 22. Adequate allowance shall be left for conductors or cables at junction boxes, expansion joints, firefighting equipment, etc. 23. Metal conduits and trunks must be grounded or zero connected. Galvanized steel conduits, flexible conduits, and metal grooves shall not be fusion welded for jumping grounding wires. The connecting wires between two cards jumping by special grounding cards shall be copper core soft wires with a cross-section of not less than 4 square millimeters. Metal trunks shall not be used as earthing conductors of equipment. When not required by design, the total length of metal trunks shall be connected to earthing or zero connection at no less than 2 places. The quality of conductor connectors is one of the main factors leading to transmission line failures and accidents. So what are the requirements for conductor connections during line laying? The first is mechanical strength. The mechanical strength of the conductor joint should not be less than 80% of the mechanical strength of the original conductor. Avoid mechanical forces at the connections and branches of the conductors. The second is insulation strength. The insulation strength of the conductor connection must be good, and its insulation performance should at least be consistent with the insulation strength of the original conductor. Insulation resistance below the standard value is not allowed to be put into use. The third is corrosion resistance. The corrosion resistance of wire joints should be good to avoid corrosion by corrosive gases from the outside world. The fourth is close contact. The connection of the conductor should be in close contact, the resistance of the joint should be as small as possible, and the stability should be good. The resistance ratio to the conductor of the same length and section should not be greater than 1. The fifth is the wiring connector. Connectors are not allowed in the middle of piping conductors and trunking wiring. If necessary, junction boxes, distribution boxes, and terminal boxes can be used. The conductor should be connected firmly, and there should be no loosening, reverse coiling, or other phenomena. Finally, there is the connection method. When there are no special regulations, the core of the conductor shall be connected by welding, pressure plate, and casing. This is the end of the class. Thank you for watching.